This is RTV6 News at Noon, working for you.
Well, as we inch closer towards the official first day of summer, there's plenty of sunshine across central Indiana this midday. And while temperatures will be warm today, get ready. The mercury will really be going up by the time we reach the weekend. Good afternoon to you. I'm Lauren Casey. Todd Clausen is joining me this midday from his home studio. Todd, what can we expect as we head outside for our Wednesday lunch hour?
You know, it's beautiful out there right now, Lauren. Lots of sunshine. You saw the people on the canal there and walking around the canal and the paddle boats. I think that's going to be a scene across much of central Indiana today. Everybody taking advantage of the low humidity that is out there and, of course, the sunshine as well. Take a look at these temperatures right now, and we're sitting in the 70s and 80s. 81 now in Indianapolis, 79 in Bloomington. A little cooler to the south. Bedford at 73. Probably just a few more clouds down there. But Greenfield's at 78 degrees and 80 up in Peru. And here is a live look in Bloomington, and you see those high thin clouds out there, and that's the way it'll be for most of the afternoon. The one exception will be for those of you in southeastern and eastern portions of central Indiana. I'm going to zoom in, and you notice a little bit of cloud cover building in as expected, and it's part of this storm system that is off to our southwest. It's kind of spinning the clouds back into our area. So for some of you to the east and south, instead of being mostly sunny today, you're partly cloudy. Still a great day. Everybody's in the 80s here this afternoon with that low humidity. But Lauren, you alluded to the warm up coming by Friday, potentially our first 90-degree temperature. Not only does the temperature come up, the humidity rises as well. More on that in just a few minutes.
All right, Todd, thank you. Well, this midday, Metro Police are still looking for clues after a violent Wednesday morning across several parts of our city. Multiple shootings left 2 people dead, 5 others in the hospital. Now, one of the investigations began around 1:20 this morning. That's when police found a car that had crashed into some trees near East 46th Street and Arlington Avenue. Officers say 2 men inside the car were dead from gunshot wounds. Police also found a blood trail and believe that a third person was in the car. On the northwest side, police say 3 people were shot and wounded at a party just before 1 o'clock this morning. It all happened on a home on Luxembourg Circle West near I-65 and the 38th Street interchange. Later, a victim from the separate shooting was found at a McDonald's on 38th Street. That man is in critical condition. And only on RTV6, new video involving Drajon Reed in his case, and his mother's lawyers are now claiming that the 21-year-old man did not fire at Metro Police. Call 6 Investigates obtained this video 1 day after a lawsuit was filed in federal court targeting the city, IMPD, the police chief, a deputy chief, and 2 police officers. That surveillance video is about 24 seconds long, and here it shows where Reed stopped after leading police on a chase back on May 6th. Reed is seen here getting out of his vehicle and running with a t-shirt in his left hand and 2 cell phones in his right hand, while Metro Police Officer DeJour Mercer is running behind him.
Your thoughts on that video?
How in the world could he shoot if he had a t-shirt in one hand and a phone in the other? There's no way. You can't. You can't. You can't shoot at somebody with another hand. And to be blunt, if his other hand was lower, where would it come from?
Metro Police say that Reed was tased before there was that exchange of gunfire. Police also say that Reed shot his gun twice, and that weapon was found by Reed's body. The attorneys for Reed's family say that they have not been given a chance to see any of that evidence. Today in Washington, Senate Republicans releasing their plan to address police brutality, but critics say it does not tackle the true problem. We're also waiting this midday for an announcement on possible charges in the police shooting death of Rayshard Brooks in Atlanta. ABC's Trevor Alt is there with more.
Senate Republicans have unveiled their proposed bill for police reform, designed to strengthen training on de-escalation methods, ban chokeholds, increase body camera availability, and make lynching a federal crime.
We believe that our policy positions are one that brings the communities of color into a position of stronger understanding and confidence in the institutions of authority, and we believe that it brings our law enforcement community to a place where they have the resources necessary to de-escalate some of these situations.
The GOP proposal stopping far short of what House Democrats proposed a week ago, though it goes further than an executive order signed Tuesday by President Trump, which encourages local departments to follow best practices on use of force and de-escalation and to report misconduct to a national registry. And even though there is no outright ban on chokeholds, the president suggested there was.
Americans want law and order. They demand law and order. They may not say it. They may not be talking about it, but that's what they want.
This wave of action comes in response to widespread protests across the country, including in Atlanta, following the death of 27-year-old Rayshard Brooks at the hands of police. Police body and dash cam footage captured the events that led to Brooks' death, a field sobriety test and attempted arrest, that Brooks struggling with the officers, running away and appearing to point a taser at police when Officer Garrett Rolfe opens fire, killing him with 2 shots to the back. The district attorney is expected to soon announce whether those officers involved will face charges and has said murder or felony murder charges could be on the table. Atlanta's mayor has now signed a number of executive orders reforming the police department, requiring them to use de-escalation methods before deadly force and making every officer duty-bound to intercede if they see another officer using unreasonable force. Trevor Ault, ABC News, Atlanta.
New this midday, Quaker Oats is getting rid of the Aunt Jemima pancake brand and logo. The brand is more than 130 years old, and it's now owned by PepsiCo. The company now acknowledges that the origins of Aunt Jemima are based on a derogatory stereotype. The logo was originally based on a former slave named Nancy Green. The company's advertising is based on a character on the racist stereotype of a submissive servant. Quaker Oats is the latest corporation to make the changes and for a call for equality following the weeks of Black Lives Matter protests across the country. The vice president is trying to downplay it, but COVID-19 cases are growing in some states that opened back up before his home state of Indiana. We'll show you what he said and what doctors are saying in response. Todd.
And as you wank your way out the door here today, we are talking about temperatures in the 80s. It's nice and comfortable, but as you look off to our west, you can see the heat is building, and that is all heading in our direction, as we'll see temperatures by the end of the week approaching 90 degrees. We'll talk all about it coming in your Storm T6 forecast when the news at noon continues right here on RTV6.
By Disney Plus, tonight on ABC.
The number of deaths are up slightly, but the number of new cases are down. The state health department released the latest COVID-19 numbers just moments ago. Only 264 new cases were reported. However, that does push Indiana past the 41,000 mark for the total. The state also reported 24 new deaths from the virus. Hospital capacity dropped slightly with just over 38% of intensive care unit beds currently open. And while it's not been a problem here in Indiana yet, at least 20 states are starting to see an increase in COVID-19 cases, the rate of those cases, and that includes the states that were the first to ease restrictions. ABC's Inez De La Cotera also tells us that Vice President Mike Pence is facing some new criticism for what some doctors say are misleading claims about the pandemic.
This morning, Texas, Arizona, and Florida seeing a record number of new coronavirus cases.
It's a different population that is making that curve rise, and it's a younger population. But those people have to realize that they have the propensity to spread it to those that are more vulnerable.
All 3 states were among the first to reopen. Florida's governor arguing the spike is linked to increased testing.
We really expanded the drive-through and the walk-up sites, and now we have pop-up sites at retail locations, and that's thousands and thousands and thousands of tests a day.
But in New York, once the worst hit state in the country, testing has also increased, but their number of infections is way down.
We went from the worst infection rate to the best infection rate, but it's all because of what New Yorkers did.
At least 20 states and Puerto Rico showing increases. Hospitalizations are also up in at least 14 states. Alabama and Arizona running out of ICU beds. But Vice President Pence downplaying the issue, writing in the Wall Street Journal, "We are winning the fight against the invisible enemy," adding panic over a second wave is overblown. The nation's top infectious disease expert, Dr. Anthony Fauci, who repeatedly warned about the risks of reopening too quickly, revealing he hasn't spoken to the president in 2 weeks.
We don't necessarily have to have a second wave as long as we have the capability when those inevitable infections come up to be able to handle them in an effective way.
Later this week, President Trump will hold his first campaign rally since the pandemic began in Tulsa, Oklahoma, even as that city sees its largest spike in cases. Thousands are expected indoors and in close proximity. Inez De La Cotera, ABC News, Washington.
Well, you still have a few days in which you could help give a helping hand. Up next, how you can help put food on the table for other Hoosiers, all while you're doing your grocery shopping. I'll take a live look outside right now from our tower camera overlooking the Circle City. You can see those blue skies and some white clouds out there. We'll check in with Todd Clausen and see what we can expect for our forecast the rest of today and the rest of your work week. That's coming up here on the News at Noon. Stick around. Well, it is a good reason to round up the next time you're buying groceries. The COVID-19 pandemic has created unexpected obstacles for a number of families when it comes to keeping their pantries stocked. So RTV6 is teaming up with Kroger and Second Helpings to help bridge the gap. All week long, when you're checking out at Kroger, you may have the option to give, even if it's just a little bit. Dozens of people have donated over the last 2 days, and we know every little bit helps.
There is hunger in every community and quite likely in every neighborhood, in homes where you might not expect it to be, especially now with people losing jobs in so many different fields. So if you can donate 5 cents, 10 cents, just round up to the next dollar, you're going to be making a difference. You're going to put food on the table for people who need it and help Second Helpings reach out across central Indiana.
Well, if you'd like to help out, you can find the locations of the Kroger stores that are participating in this drive on our website, theindychannel.com/feedinghoosiers. We also have a link there if you'd like to make an online donation, and we want to thank you ahead of time for your help. Well, she used to make her living on the court, and even though she's moved to the classroom, this former Indiana Fever guard has taken over TikTok recently, and she's doing it through her first love.
What do you want? So I heard you've been getting tried on TikTok. They've been trying me. Okay. Well, have you ever done it in the store? Y'all gonna learn that. Cash. Don't play with me. Next challenge.
Well, on TikTok, she is Auntie Chantel. Her videos of her trick shots include one of her stepping out of the car with one shoe on and nailing it. She even chucked a football into a hoop for one of the videos that have racked up millions of views now. In real life, Auntie Chantel is Dr. Chantel Tremitiere. After playing here in Indy during the Fever's first season, she went on to earn her doctorate, and she's now teaching at her alma mater of Auburn University. She is also a cancer survivor. Oh, man, Todd, that is pretty cool. I'm not a TikToker just yet. I don't know if TK's on TikTok, but those are some pretty cool trick shots.
I'm still figuring out Instagram, Lauren.
Right?
So I'm not on the TikTok as of yet. But I saw that earlier in the week, and that was amazing. Just dropping that shot in the store, and just getting out of the car and do it in the driveway. So she sure is talented. Maybe she could still come back and play for the Fever. All right, if you're going to be playing some hoops outside today or doing anything outside, you are going to be in great shape. The humidity is low. Temperatures are pretty seasonable. This big zero you see behind me, that is the number of 90-degree days that we have had so far this year. We have had none, and that's hence why the zero is there. But normally we should have a couple by now. I think by time we get to Friday, that could potentially be the first time that we get to the 90-degree mark, or at least we will be close several days in a row. Probably starting tomorrow and then going all the way through the weekend. But as the temperatures start to come up, not so much tomorrow, but as we get into Friday and then the weekend, the humidity is going to start to rise as well. Live look from downtown to the north, and you can see some fair weather clouds building in just like yesterday. So we'll kind of transition from mostly sunny skies here this morning to skies that'll be partly cloudy going forward throughout the afternoon hours. 77 right now in Bedford as well as Columbus and Crawfordsville. 81 officially at the airport in Indianapolis, and Muncie currently sitting at 82 degrees. Where are highs going today? Well, they will be in the mid-80s, about 85 in Indy as well as Bloomington. In fact, everybody's just going to be within a couple degrees of each other today, and that is because we are all in the same air mass. If anything, it's just going to be slightly cooler off towards the east and southeast. While we're just dealing with a few fair weather clouds this morning, there's a little more in the way of cloud cover that works its way into the Richmond, Connorsville, and Greensburg area, as you see right now. And this is part of that bigger storm system that is down off to our southwest. It's kind of throwing some clouds back in our direction. And while we may see a little bit more in the way of cloud cover this afternoon and this evening, we will not get into any of that rainfall. It remains dry. In fact, it's very dry all across central Indiana. and temperatures will fall from the 80s into the 70s later on this evening. Now, tomorrow we get up into the mid to upper 80s, probably a few degrees warmer, and we'll probably hit that high of about 87, 88 degrees a little before 5 o'clock, and then you see we slowly cool back down into the 70s. And then looking ahead, it's really Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the weekend that the heat builds. 90 on Friday. The humidity comes up as well. 92 on Saturday. It's going to be hazy with hot and humid conditions. And late Saturday, we could bring in the chance of a few isolated thunderstorms, but they should be very, very spotty. Little better chance of some of those storms starting to build in during the day on Sunday. And then as we continue into next week, the heat and humidity sticks around. We are looking at hazy, hot and humid conditions with scattered storms. So the wettest part of the forecast is probably Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. But even then, we are talking about scattered storms. But make sure you get out there and enjoy the nice weather today and at least tomorrow. You're watching the news at noon right here on RTV6. We're back in just a couple minutes.
It anchors you.
Welcome back. One Central Indiana restaurant is putting the farm in farm to table. Our Brad Brown takes us to a place where you can enjoy an ice cream cone just steps away from the dairy cows.
It's a country oasis in the far northwest corner of Marion County. And all over the Traders Point Creamery property, you can find a taste of the farm.
We are better as a destination place and a real entity of Indianapolis and central Indiana, and we think we have a more powerful voice when we talk about local food and being in Indiana.
The Loft Restaurant is the main room in the Traders Point complex. They went through a full renovation and remodel during the COVID-19 shutdown.
March, April, that is a little bit slow as we prepare for busy summer and busy fall. So this hit in March, and it kind of just rattled everything. And we had to really reinvent, pivot, just to survive.
A country chic space serves up a gourmet menu to match that look. Outdoor dining with screened-in patio spaces and a third-floor sun deck quickly became their most popular tables.
People come in, okay, they've been cooped up in their houses. They've been told not to socialize or do anything, but then they say, outside is good. So they've been coming to our trail in record numbers and just walking around the farm and just exploring it. So I think we're getting a lot of first-time visitors.
You can't have a creamery without a dairy bar. Traders Point's menu of milkshakes, sundaes, floats, and more are the real deal. Served up just feet away from the cows that make that milk.
That's exactly our marketing right now, is, hey, while the restaurant is at 50% capacity, or, a week ago we couldn't even be inside, come and join us for an ice cream cone and then walk around. Everybody seems a little more friendly too. They're happy to be back. We're happy to have them. And so, it's just, now our challenge is, hey, how do we keep this momentum going and, make sure that their one evening out after being cooped up so long is really, really special.
Working for you on the northwest side, Brad Brown, RTV6.
Brad, thank you. That looks pretty good. Traders Point has several indoor and outdoor spaces for weddings, receptions, parties, and more. The Loft Restaurant and Dairy Bar open Tuesday through Sunday. The retail farm store is open every day. Carry-out and curbside takeout options are still available as well. We do want to get one final check of our forecast right now for Todd Clausen. A great day to maybe get outside and enjoy a place like a farm. Todd?
Yeah, absolutely, Lauren. It's going to be in the mid-80s, which is typical for this time of year, but the humidity is still low today, and that's what's so great about it. We'll have plenty of sunshine. A little warmer tomorrow, but still low humidity. It's not until Friday that you feel the heat and the humidity starts to come up. So Friday's kind of that transition day at 90 degrees. Then it's very warm and muggy on Saturday, which is, by the way, the first day of summer. It officially arrives at 4:43. And then as we work our way into Sunday and Monday, that's when we have the best chance of seeing some scattered showers and storms. Don't cancel weekend plans because of the storms. It's more going to be an issue, Lauren, with the heat and humidity over the course of those 2 days.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. And thank you for joining us and making RTV6 your choice for news. We hope you come back here tonight. Join us for the news at 5. Get outside. Have a great afternoon.